Good morning, everyone. We're continuing here in the laws of KASHRUS of Rabbi Yamin Forest, and what exactly constitutes pas, bread. Din pashtida, knish v'ugais. Let's speak about something called pashtida, as we'll describe, a knish or a boreka, and ugais and cakes. Pashtida, what is a pashtida? The uga hane'efes imilu basa. It is a kind of cake that is filled with meat on the inside, and it is baked like that. It's stuffed cake, but it has meat inside. And if you would have a suda with it, if that's what your whole meal would end up being, you'd make hamoitzi mikol malkaim eila tira kedin pas palter. Nevertheless, even though you could make hamoitzi on it, which means it's like bread, but we cannot exempt it from the laws of Pas Yisrael. Why? Because there's meat inside of there. And the meat you're not allowed to eat if it was cooked by a non-Jew because of what's called bishul akum, which we're going to get to, the cooking of a non-Jew. So that would mean then that the dough is also asum, because the dough that's surrounding this meat ended up absorbing the fats of the meat, and therefore it's like the meat itself. You won't be allowed to eat it if it was baked by a non-Jew. Amlam knish, but a knish or a boreka, memula betapuchi adama, it's filled with potatoes. Afshat tapuchi adama shebeseicha asur midin bishul akum. Even though that the potato itself you couldn't eat if it was not cooked by a Jew, because it would be a problem of bishul akum, food cooked by a non-Jew. Ha'isa sheba muteres kedin pas palter. The dough that's around it, that would still have the same heta, the same leniency as pas palter, as the baker's bread of the non-Jew, because it's not getting absorbed with the fats of the meat. It's just potatoes. Ugais maleus peros. If you have cakes that are filled with fruits, gavina, cheese, ukadayim, similarly pie, cheesecake, apple pie. You could eat all of those things even if it was cooked and baked by a non-Jew. Since that these foods, the cheese and the and the fruits can be eaten without being cooked, therefore it never falls into the category of bishul akum, of food cooked by a non-Jew, and therefore you'd be allowed to eat that, and you'd be allowed to eat the pie crust as well as pas palter. Another halacha, din sufganiyot and pancakes. What about a sufganiyot? At Hanukkah time, we eat all those very wonderful jelly donuts and blintzes. Sufganim ublintzin v'chein levivos, I think, which means pancakes. Hanasais me'isarak. It's made from very liquidy or soft batter. Umituganois b'shemen, and they fried it in oil. Ve'ein nefais b'tanor. They're never baked in an oven. Eilen din lechem klal. That's not considered to be bread. Bread is when it's baked. And even if a person makes a meal on it, you would not make hamoitzi because it's not considered to be bread. Therefore, it's not considered to be in the category of pas akum, the non-Jewish bread. It's only because of bishul akum, because of the cooking of a non-Jew. And therefore, these foods, if you make them through a non-Jewish baker, it would not be allowed, because it would be the prohibition of bishul akum, cooking of a non-Jew. However, if you cook it without oil, or just a little bit of oil, because you don't want it to burn, and you don't want it to stick to the pan. Dinan kepas akum, then it's like pas, and you can apply all the leniencies if it's made by a non-Jewish baker. Sufganiyot and Pancakes meisa ava. If you have these donuts that are made from very thick dough, and that's really what we do today. Most of them are thick dough; they're not thin. Dinan kepas, it's like bread. Even though it's cooked in oil, it's still going to have the qualities of bread. Okay, we'll stop over here, and we still have more to see. Be'ez Hashem tomorrow. All the best.